Hello everybody and welcome to my journey as I try to get better at GT Sport. I've played this game on and off for the past couple years, but never really tried to be competitive or try to improve or anything like that. And so before Gran Turismo 7 comes out, and with GT Sport coming to the Olympics, I thought it would be fun to try to improve at this game. I like how the races are shorter, a little more forgiving than in something like ACC or iRacing, and I get a 16.7 for my qualifying time. And I did do 2 races before this, before starting to record as practice. I was in the 219 race during those races, but able to practice enough to get to a 216. So here is what happened on the first ever race I did where I was starting to try. And you can see here Torito cuts the chicane and then for some reason just, tries to dump me and wreck me out of the race, and I spin out and they just keep wrecking each other up there, but it doesn't matter that they got penalties because I already got spun out. And right away I learned how savage GT Sport can be. Thankfully I did another race and I finished in 5th place there, but I was trying to race super careful and clean and respectfully, and while I am still planning on racing clean and respectfully, I've learned now to get my elbows out, as they say, in GT Sport, because there's no damage, because you kind of bounce off each other. It's not iRacing. You gotta get your elbows out and just really, really hold your line. So right away, going into this 3rd race, I did this the next day, I was shocked because I qualified in 1st place. Like I said, I was in the range of these guys, 219, 220s. And with the 216, I qualified in 1st place for the very first time. ACC and iRacing, I couldn't even get anywhere near that good. But one thing did scare me going into the race, and it was the guy behind me, Rammer 1964, the Canadian. And man, I did not want to start on the grid side by side with a rammer, and so I should be good, right? With 3 seconds of pace ahead. But there were some of those people that did not put a time in. Maybe they're really fast. We'll have to watch out for them during the race, but priority number 1, watch out for rammer, and I don't know how to get a good start in these cars. Again, this is a beginner's journey, so please give me tips. I tried half throttle once, I tried full throttle, and neither of those work, so already getting passed by Rammer 1964 going into turn 1, and I decided to keep it very wide. Don't want to get too messy right away, and you can already see the Rammer ramming me off the track right away. But we didn't die, and we held our 2nd place position. So far so good. In fact, Rammer slipping all the way to 3rd. Hi-Ho Silver in the lead. I take it a little too wide break, a little too late in the heat of the action, but still holding 2nd place. And Hi-Ho Silver, interestingly, stays down on the bottom, causes him to get loose. Could have taken advantage, but there was a car right to my left. He was on my left. The side-by-side racing, very tough, and get lucky there. Could have been rammed off the track, but GT Sport decides invisibility was the best way to go. But it let that guy pass me, so I mean, I'll take not getting crashed out, but got straight up passed because of the invisibility. And of course right here, the very, very tricky tight corner might have punted the red car a bit, and Rammer rams me once again, living up to his name. but I'm still able to keep the Canadian behind me. He does go out on the inside, keeping it side by side into the tricky chicane. He chucks it up on the inside. I'm just playing it really safe so early, and I know I got 3 seconds of pace on these people. I should be able to pass him as you know, as the race plays out. Should be easier to make some clean passes on pure pace. So we got 3 blue cars, including myself. Oh, actually no, black car up there. Headed into this turn, headed into turn 1. Got 2 seconds above the cars behind, so don't need to worry about dive bombs. Can make an aggressive move myself to the inside. We have the red car off the track and able to get 2 spots just through keeping it consistent through turn 1. So that's another thing I learned. Consistency is key. In the first 2 races, I saw a lot of people spinning out even though they were faster, and I was able to beat them because I was consistent. So elbows out, defend your position, but keep it consistent still. Better to have consistent lap times than speed. And gotta be careful though, because Rammer is right behind me. Don't want to get punted into the shadow realm. Thankfully, he actually drives not too crazy. His name is Rammer. He did bump me, but I think for the most part he does not try to wreck you while we race. And the leader, Hi-Ho Silver, gets a penalty, track limit infringements, and this is my opportunity to strike. I see that, okay, this is how I get my lead. He has his penalty, so really brake later than usual into this turn, later than usual for me, and Hi-Ho Silver struggles through that turn, slips up, side by side. Of course, no need to race him because he is going to slow down, so I don't really try to stick it to the inside. He will be forced to slow down, so I don't need to do too much. But Rammer right there on the inside line, still able to hold him off. We are side by side. I pull a slide job on him, slide out on him, and we are good. We get a fantastic exit with great positioning behind Hi-Ho Silver, who has the penalty. So headed into the final lap in prime position to potentially get my first win ever in Gran Turismo Sport. My first win ever in online road racing, in fact. And so keep it consistent here. Don't want to screw it up and run wide because, like I said, he has the penalty. No need to push too hard. But of course, if we're too slow, Rammer will ram us. So that's the only thing we got to be careful of. We don't need to ram the guy ahead of us, but we don't want to get rammed. And I make this move on the inside because Hi-Ho is really slow. Almost get dumped there, but make it right through just cleanly. And here we go. This is the big moment. Hi-Ho Silver to the inside, but he loses control and is sent to the Shadow Realm. And Rammer also loses it, runs wide, and that will do it. Staying strong, keeping my elbows out, keeping consistent. The lessons I learned pay off, and I am able to take the lead and run away with it. Hi-Ho Silver now with a 1 second penalty, so no threat at all. Rammer dropping all the way down to 4th after running wide. And that will do it. I started sim racing February of 2020. Got some oval wins, but never won on a road course. And I know some people won't count this game as a sim racing game, but man, it still takes skill and racing knowledge. So I am still so proud of myself and happy. After a year and a half of trying to get a win, finally getting a win, even if, you know, the people I was racing against weren't great. 219 here in this car, not great. But still had to use racecraft, had to use craftiness to get my first win on GT Sport, my first road racing win ever. It felt so good. I did not expect it. I told myself I was going to record this race and, you know, hoping for a top 3. Did not expect to get the win, but here we are. It feels really good, man. It feels really good. And look at that. First victory, and not only a victory, but get all 3 stars, pole position, fastest lap, clean race. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.